Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name's Adam, and I'm the founder of a company called Fin3 Technologies. Thank you, Taylor. Just like to start off by saying thank you to everybody and thank you to the Stellar team for hosting this event and bringing everyone together. It's really cool to see the Stellar ecosystem. So Fin3, sorry, here we go. What we do is we enable banks to use stablecoins for payments, and we allow banks to create fully fiat reserved stablecoins on Stellar and use those for dollar payments. We really do three functions. The first is what we call stablecoin management. So that's minting, burning, configuration, setting trust lines, freeze, burn, clawback, freeze, unfreeze, clawback. And then our real secret sauce is integration with the bank's core software. And we'll walk through how that plays out in our process and workflow in a second. And then the third area is payment orchestration. So orchestration of the first two along with payments. So we are huge believers in the potential for stablecoins as a payment medium. We think that they have a decided cost advantage to existing settlement rails, particularly on Stellar, given Stellar's low transaction costs. So we think we can deliver payment transactions for less than a penny US per payment. You compare that to a lot of what our banks pay. They pay 45 cents for each Zelle transaction. Zelle's a payment function in the US, so there's a huge cost advantage. But we think that the real killer application of stablecoins is as a payment layer for smart contracts. And if you think about different banking and capital market settlements function, we're firm believers that they're going to migrate to a distributed ledger as an operating system versus today's bilateral manual process. And our stablecoin functionality, I think, is a critical payment layer for that. So just as an example, a corporate loan funding today requires a bunch of email communication from a borrower to a loan officer asking for a draw, the loan officer seeing if the covenants of the loan are met, and then sending a wire, which is a very manual process. That could be easily encoded into a smart contract, condition 1, condition 2, condition 3 met, and then send money via stablecoins. So we think that has massive efficiency gains for the banking system in the future. Existing models, and particularly with Stellar, I guess it's Project Sorbonne now. It used to be Jump Cannon. We're super excited to see that roll out. But the existing models are somewhat high friction in terms of on and off ramps. We think that we can remove a lot of that friction by direct bank core integration. And if I can delve into that in a little more detail, our process is API driven. So when a send money API is called, our platform, which we call BIS, moves fiat into a reserve account from the payor's account. So that fiat is escrowed. We then mint a stable coin, in Stellar that's moving to the distribution wallet from the issuance wallet. That stable coin is transferred to the payee's Stellar wallet. And if the bank so chooses to configure it this way, because right there you have a fully reserved stablecoin, and that stablecoin can stay in existence, or the bank can configure it to be automatically unwound, where the fiat is transferred from the reserve escrow account to the payee's account, and the stablecoin is burned. I can have a quick demo here to show you. This has a demo UI, but our backend application hooks up to a bank's banking software to other applications. But in this demo UI, we're showing loading in a recipient's address, $1.50 to send, and then sending it. You'll see this moves money at basically the speed of writing 3 blocks. And what's going on is in the core, and we'll show this in a second. So we've moved fiat from the payor's account to an escrow, to a reserve account. We've minted a stable coin on Stellar, and then we're transferring that to the recipient or payee's Stellar wallet or address, and then we're unwinding it by transferring the fiat from the reserve account to the payee's account and burning the Stellar token. And then the rest is just showing on Stellar Expert the transactions that happened. With that, happy to take any questions. Love to find other partners in the Stellar ecosystem to partner with and work with. Thank you.
I had a question. Who holds the reserve assets? Is it the bank that's holding its own reserve asset?
Yeah, it's the bank.
Okay, and are you guys live? And how is adoption? Like, how is this conversations going with banks?
So we're working with one bank on Stellar, and then we're working with a few other banks. Right now, they're the U.S. banking regulators. In the U.S., it's a hodgepodge between the FDIC, the OCC, the Fed, are in various stages of approval. So, one bank has been greenlit for this. Then other banks are still working with the regulators to get approval.
Are you working with any other markets outside of the US? Or are you interested in?
Yeah, we're super interested. We have conversations with a few banks around the world, but we're very interested in working with banks outside the U.S. because, frankly, ex-U.S. is a more friendly regulatory regime, and it's just that we initially partnered with a few banks in the U.S. is why this has had a predominantly U.S. focus, but we're definitely interested in non-U.S. partners.
Hi. Did you integrate some notable core banking like Finastra or something more custom?
We haven't done Finastra yet, but we're working with some of the larger bank cores like FIS and Jack Henry and FinExact. But we're interested in expanding the bank cores, and we're also, so I would think about it in terms of technological partnerships. So you have the bank cores on one side, and then you have digital asset security solutions like Fireblocks. So we're integrated with Fireblocks. We're integrated with Fortanix for an HSM solution. We're interested in integrating with more custody solutions and more bank cores as well. All right, thank you guys.